Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar on how to benefit from successful onboarding. I'm going to talk you through a series of slides, but if you do have any questions, by all means feel free to put them in the chat or ask me at the end. Okay, so this is our trusted team of HR people advisors. In terms of Clover HR, we are your people advisors here to help in any way we can, and we have over 200 years experience between us all. The team is growing and we have specialisms in all different areas of the business, from a HR range of recruitment, training, wellbeing, rewards and other people strategies. This is myself, Lynn Berman. I've worked in HR for over 20 years now, and I love the profession and everything it brings. I'm very passionate about it and want to help as many people as possible. So I want you to get the best from this topic. And if you want to contact me after today, please feel free to email me or phone me or contact any of our members from Clover and we'll be happy to help. Question and answers, as I've said, please put free in the chat, or if not, contact me after today and we can talk about it in greater detail then. I would ask you to mute yourselves if possible, just so I can get through the main flow of the conversation and through the webinar. But alternatively, if there is a question, just fire up and I'll try and answer you as best I can throughout. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today, the contents of the webinar. What is onboarding, often called induction, and approaches to onboarding? What are the positives of a successful onboarding? And also, if you're not done correctly, what are the negatives? I'm going to give you some statistics based on successful onboarding and the impact if not done properly. And then some top tips to really consider for your company and how to involve onboarding successfully. So when we look at what is onboarding, it's a process that ensures new hires adjust to the social and performance aspects of the jobs so they can quickly become productive, contributing members to the organisation. So onboarding provides managers with an opportunity to give new hires the tools to succeed in an organisation as quickly as possible, and the results of a proper onboarding plan can be long lasting and make people stay within a business because they've had a successful 3 to 6 month start. Onboarding is one of the best ways to help maximise the investment of the business. The process is often referred to, as I said, as induction as well. So it is often called this an induction process instead of an onboarding process. It's the same thing. Early experiences in new work environments can significantly impact an employee's long-term relationship with the organisation. So in a recent article, 69% of employees are more likely to stay in a company for at least 3 years if they had an efficient onboarding process. And that can go some way to show you that good onboarding can have a real difference on the employee turnover, and again, which can have an impact on the bottom line, the business's bottom line. The research shows that employees would spend at least 6 to 9 months of an employee's salary to find and train a new replacement. So it's definitely worth doing from the start and doing well. So when we look at approaches to onboarding, there are different approaches, but they all support the same objectives overall. So easing an employee's transition into the new job and securing a positive, productive and lasting relationship. So put it in writing, the onboarding process should be a documented process in a manual so everyone can follow the steps and it's consistent throughout the business. Roll out the welcome mat. So here we make every new employee feel valuable and welcome. Be prepared, so ensure the new starter is prepared and all the correspondence has been sent before the first day. And ensure on the first day they've got everything they need in front of them. Put names to faces. So here you need to make sure you introduce new members to the employee and make them aware how they'll have an impact in their day-to-day work. Assign a buddy or a mentor. This is done in a lot of organisations where they give responsibility to an individual already in the business to look after that person, take them to lunch, give them an opportunity to ask any questions as and when. Make it personal to the new starter. Get to know the new hires and their general interests and hobbies and lifestyle outside of work. This makes them feel a lot more part of the team. Provide an employee handbook. So always ensure you supply an employee handbook with all the rules and procedures for them to look through. They can take this away with them and obviously understand them, but at least they know what's expected of them from the start. Always ask for feedback. So after about 3 months, it would be wise to ask the new hire what was good and bad about the experience. And this helps the business really learn from what they can improve on in the process for another new starter in the future. Encourage questions. There's no silly questions. So encourage the new hire to ask questions with no negative repercussions on them. Checking in on them as well with regular views after the first 3 months induction process is a good idea. It doesn't stop just at 3 months. Review the key policies and procedures. So always ensure they know the rules and procedures that they need to know from day one, such as time and attendance, conduct policies, and different things around their day-to-day working that they need to know. And schedule some social time. So invite the new employee to lunch or in an informal gathering if possible, as and when we can, and make them feel part of the team straight away. Other things to really consider with different approaches is celebrating the company history. So be proud of where you work and how long the business has been existing for. Involve everyone, so try and make sure that they meet as many people as possible on day one or week one. This makes them feel part of the team, and if they see other people they don't know, they might not feel part of it straight away. And encourage team building, so encourage all the teams to make new starters feel welcome. It's not just a one-person job or the line manager or HR. Everyone in the business is responsible for making that new starter feel welcome. So the positives of onboarding. When we look at this, the things you can get from a successful onboarding are non-ending. So if you look at better employee retention, people will stay longer. Looking at easier talent attraction, word of mouth will get out that there's a good induction and onboarding process. A stronger company culture. So this will really help to build the atmosphere and morale within the culture and everyone feel part of the team straight away. Increase productivity. Hopefully they'll be more efficient, quicker if they know what they're doing, who to ask and where to go to. There's a stronger employee experience, so they'll feel part of it straight away and engagement and satisfied in their job and that they've made the right decision and the right move. Or that new starters will always feel welcomed and valued. They'll always look back on that first 3 months as a pleasurable experience. It maintains a good impression and a good company image, and this will obviously get out to the wider sector if people are recruiting. And long-term loyalty and commitment. People are more likely to stay with the business if they've had a successful first 3 months. This will really help you. When you do look at easier talent attraction and obviously building your employer brand, there is a few webinars on Clover's website that you can look at to help also increase the employee brand as well. So make sure you tap into that resource as well. Flipping it on its head and saying if it was not done correctly, what negative connotations can onboarding have, not doing onboarding have? So however, this can have an effect on the low levels of engagement within the employees. There's a lower confidence among the employees and they're more likely to be less productive from day one. There's a lack of trust within the organisation. This just goes with what they don't know, they presume. So if they haven't been told something, they're unaware of what the rules are. Missed revenue targets, again, productivity. This is setting the goals and objectives for what you want your employees to do. If they're not able to be productive, they're not able to meet their targets, and this could have an impact on the bottom line. Again, increased turnover. They're more likely to leave if they don't have a productive and interesting onboarding process. And low employee morale. They won't feel part of the team straight away. They won't feel productive. They won't feel a valuable member of the organisation as quickly. So really, when we look at some statistics for new hires, a good onboarding process brings new employees up to speed 50% faster. So there's no reason not to do it whatsoever. And 33% of new hires start looking for a new job within the first 6 months. When you've spent a lot of money recruiting that person, the last thing you want to do is lose them in 6 months. And 23% of employees leave before their 1 year mark comes around. Now, you look at 23% and a quarter of employees leave within the first year. If you've had a successful 3 months, 6 months, 9 months building yourself into the business, you are far more or less likely to leave within that first year because you want to make your mark. 5% of new employees quit immediately after a disastrous first day. This is such a shame. It's that first day when they're nervous and unknowing what to do, where to go, who to speak to. If that is a disaster, you've wasted the whole recruitment process from the start and choosing that candidate that you want. And 20% of new employees will leave within the first 45 days of employment. Again, that first 45 days is crucial. That's a month and a half into it. If you can make that first 3 months informative, exciting, and knowledgeable, you will get more productivity from your employees. The top tips to consider. What do we need to think about? Part 1, before the employee's first day. And this, a new hire starts before they even walk through the doors. We'll look at part 2, the new employee's first day and what we should do. And part 3, after their first day. Once they're in, know the people, what can we do to help them then for that first 3 to 6 months and ongoing. So in part 1, before the candidate's first day, we need to prepare the employee before they arrive. To make sure they get all the paperwork, the offer letter, the contract, the rules, procedures, handbook. This always makes them feel part of the team straight away. Get the team involved. So maybe share a phone call with one of the team members, a quick email to say, I'm looking forward to you starting. Share information with them about the business and what they're working on. This will only help the employee's experience before they've even started and feel part of that process already. When we look at the employee's first day, assign a buddy. This is always useful for the employees to have someone to go to ask those silly questions to. And again, no question is a silly question, as I said. It's just their nerves, they're unaware of what to ask and where to go. Live and breathe your employer brand. What do you believe in as an employee brand? And create an epic welcome for the employee. Always ensure all the IT systems, the equipment, processes are organised for the new employee's first day. And this is crucial to make them feel valuable and part of the team and expected. And you'll get immediate business impact from them. Incorporate this into an induction checklist to make sure that every manager or HR follows this experience and make sure that every employee has the same consistent experience and feels valued. And provide training on cultural aspects of the organisation and what to look out for. Who's who in the organisation, an organisation chart to go through, and who reports into who. This will just help them feel part of the team. And after the first day, it doesn't stop there. So plan the ramp into meaningful work. Let them know what you're aiming to get them to know in the first week or month or 3 months and what you expect of them. Share cascading goals and set clear business objectives and targets for them. We've got a webinar running on objective setting and goal setting, which will be useful to look at as well alongside this. This makes sure that your employee knows what is expected of them and why they've been brought into the business. Reinforce key teams, stakeholders, and book in regular chats so they get to know all the team they're working with and outside that team and what impact they have on that day-to-day working. The more people they know in the business, the better, and the more people they can go to for help or to share ideas and best practices. Inspire new hires, so give them goals in order to reach for, set them aspirations, what you'd like to see in the next 3 to 6 months from them, and tell them how they can progress in the business. So plan the probation management. So most companies have a probation period within 3 months or 6 months. So plan that, maybe do a 4-week, 8-week and a 12-week check and a review to see how they're doing or if they're on track to where they should be. We celebrate the first year anniversary and early wins. So on the employee's first anniversary, celebrate that they're still there, they've had a successful year and what they've gained in that year and what they've achieved. Continue to optimise your employee onboarding. So once you've put a process together, don't rest on your laurels that that is the process. If you get feedback that it should be improved in any way, then improve it. It can only help build on the employee's experience overall. So an example of an onboarding process in paper terms would be the attached. So you look at process steps, who's involved in that, who's it performed by, and then do a sign-off check and that the data is completed and signed off for. This gives a clear indication that you're serious to the employee of following out that induction and onboarding process. And obviously it then keeps everyone involved and on check of who's doing what and when, and the responsibility assigns to each person. So in summary, onboarding ensures the new hires become productive as quickly as possible. This is what every business would want. Positive experience in the first 3 months will help ensure the employee stays a long time. Make sure you plan the onboarding process and roll it out across the business to all involved. There are huge positives for the business if onboarding is done successfully. And again, If done negatively, again, there's huge repercussions of this as well. A poor onboarding process and experience can affect employee turnover, morale, and job satisfaction overall. Involve the team and managers in helping new starters, welcome new starters, and it is even more important than ever during today's pandemic to get this experience right. If you are hiring during this time, it's most likely that your employee is starting remotely from home. Again, communication is key here during this difficult time, and making sure that we get everything they need and find new ways of working with that new employee to make them feel part of the team. Send them something in the post beforehand, do a welcome team call on first day, get a few of your colleagues to do a one-to-one with them with various people in the team, just to check in on them and make them feel part of the team. This is a unique experience for them, so you've got to go above and beyond throughout this. Thank you for listening to the webinar. I hope it has been useful, and obviously it will be on a live copy on YouTube, so you'll be able to read it through if anything is needed. Just wanted to check if there are any questions from today. So we'll just have a look on the Q&A to see if there is anything. Okay, so I did have a couple of questions come in. I'm just going to go through them now. So should you do the same onboarding process for everyone? Yes, consistency is important, but then you've got work specific, role specific, so elements to each role. So it may be more important for a marketing executive to spend more time in the marketing team and things like that. But make sure your whole process for the company induction, the company onboarding is consistent throughout, and every employee gets the same experience. Another question is, who should be involved in the induction and onboarding process? Should we leave it to HR? This is something that often is done, and if the only person that the new starter meets on day one is the HR person, then it's not going to make them feel very part of the team. So as many people as possible should get involved. So you've got line managers, you've got colleagues, and HR if possible or if available. As long as there is a consistent process to follow, it should be great. Thank you for listening to today. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if there are any questions, please feel free to contact me or any of the Clover HR team, and we'll be more than happy to help. Thank you.